Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. Evo Japan is right around the corner, and of course Evo, there's going to be tons of great games, tons of great matches, hopefully tons of great memories, and it's coming pretty soon as it's May 1st through the 3rd. And of course Evo, as much as we love just, the competitiveness, the sportsmanship, and that's a big part of it this time around, but it's also a marketing event, let's call it for what it is. So there's likely going to be a lot of goodies at Evo 2026 this year for Evo Japan. And what goodies will we be getting? Well, let's talk about that. And also, actually, since we're running the trailer here, let's talk about some of the sportsmanship stuff here. Because part of the festivities opening up right before Evo Japan begins is Mena RD versus Daigo Umehara 1st to 10 in Street Fighter 6. You could argue it's the greatest of today versus the greatest of all time. A battle of the young versus a battle of the old, however you want to sell it, it's a pretty big deal. So this kicks off right before Evo proper does. You can watch it on the Evo Twitch or YouTube channels. And yes, this is free. This isn't like, Capcom Cup. You can just watch it, just to put it out there. They've been putting out some hype packages. I'll actually link one of them for you in the video description so you can watch it for yourself. And they're pretty effective, I'm not gonna lie. I myself am in my 40s, so it's no stranger to say I'm a Daigo kind of guy. And is he older? Yeah, sure, right? But this is fighting games. This isn't other e-sports where you age out sometime in your 30s. You can be in your 40s and still kick a serious amount of ass in fighting games. You are not done just because you're a little bit older here. That's one of the most beautiful things about fighting games is you can be any age and succeed. So as far as Evo goes here for Evo Japan, I say tune into this one because I think it's going to be an all-timer. So now for some of the more traditional fare. Hey, Ingrid, that's our next character for Street Fighter 6. Ingrid will be playable on the show floor at Evo Japan. So we got a pretty good idea of what she's capable of thanks to the trailer, but there's a lot of little details that just aren't immediately apparent, and we'll get all those as people will be dissecting her, just playing her non-stop on the show floor. So if there's really good updates on the Ingrid front, don't worry, I'll definitely have it covered here on the channel. Also playable on the show floor will be the latest build of Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. So Penny Parker, Wolverine, all these fun characters. Now's the time we get to see them in action. Also, this is probably around the right time for the next team trailer to drop. Now, who could some of the next characters be? Well, if you check the channel, we might have an idea or two about that, although nothing's concrete till it's actually there and you actually see it in the trailer. But still, we'll have more gameplay. We'll have to see how Penny works. So it is confirmed Penny is a random item character like Faust. That's really cool. We'll get more of the current build and hopefully even more characters and gameplay to come in the form of new trailers. More fun stuff coming up. How about an old legend returns? Core values are coming back to Evo after all these years. Dead or Alive will have an official presence at Evo Japan this year. And the series producer will take the stage, hopefully for some good announcements. Dead or Alive 6 last round is not that far away in the end. It's June 25th. So they said there's going to be some new characters, maybe show a character for that. And of course, Dead or Alive 7. Other than the fact that Dead or Alive 7 exists, which is great, big Dead or Alive fan, very happy for a new game in the franchise. But other than the fact that it exists, we know basically nothing. Kasumi and Hayabusa confirmed, I guess. Other than that, we don't know a dang thing, right? So Evo Japan would definitely be a good stage to show off some new Dead or Alive. I'm just happy it's a thing to begin with because this is Evo, it was Evo Vegas, but the famed core value incident was at Evo Vegas, and Dead or Alive was sort of never allowed back at Evo afterwards. Now, granted, some enthusiastic hosts can sometimes play up things that maybe aren't super camera or corporate friendly, and Evo's under very different management these days compared to who ran Evo back then. but it'll always go down as one of the sillier moments of fighting game history. Let's put it that way, right? At bare minimum, Dead or Alive back at the big show. I'm very happy for it. Hope for some cool news for Dead or Alive 6 last round and Dead or Alive 7. And speaking of news, man, maybe Virtual, I don't know. Hey, remember the Wolf trailer? They had like, hey, we got new characters. Here's Wolf. This trailer debuted at Evo Japan last year. This trailer is almost a year old. Like, don't get me wrong, Wolf looks great. But the fact that we've had just about nothing for the new Virtua Fighter in a whole year since this trailer, other than this few seconds of gameplay, which I've shown so many times now, because this is all there is for the game. I just want something for the new Virtua Fighter, please. It doesn't gotta be a lot, but show us signs of life, you know? We do have Summer Game Fest as well, which will not be that much longer after Evo Japan, I suppose. That'll be in June. But you know, we've been ready. Maybe if you don't want to do the whole gameplay breakdown, show us like a Pai-chan trailer, a Jackie or Sarah trailer, something, please. There's the very real possibility that Dead or Alive 7 may be announced much later after the new VF, and we'll get gameplay and news on that before we get anything out of Virtua Fighter. I don't know. Something for Virtua Fighter, please. That'd be great. And that is just some of the usual suspects. Because we do got quite a bit of games at Evo Japan this year that are non-standard, like say Darkstalker's Vampire Savior, or the Fist of the North Star fighting game. Now, it's become clear in time since this got announced, there's probably a decent reason why this game is here. In that Kenshiro of Fist of the North Star fame is coming back to fighting games in the form of him coming back to Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. And he'll be out sometime in June. So, you know, hey, legendary character from legendary anime coming back to the modern day. Hey, we got a fighting game for that, don't we? So maybe put the fighting game up front and center at Evo Japan. Makes sense. It's all about that co-marketing branding synergy, folks. So for retro stuff coming back to the modern day, there's definitely something there, you know. There's a lot of love for retro games this year. In fact, a little birdie told me, for fans of retro fighting games, you might want to keep your eyes open at Evo Japan. That's all I'm gonna say. Assuredly, there's some special things that get announced that aren't as obvious as some of the other ones, like say a new Tokon trailer. And of course, you know, there's even more games to talk about yet. Like say on the Tekken 8 front. Remember Kunimitsu? Well, Kunimitsu, she's coming out sometime later in spring. So I'd say this is probably a good place, if any, to run the big trailer. We do have a little bit, like a little snippet of what's going on the Kunimitsu front. But yeah, like, you know, a full dedicated gameplay trailer, like all the whiz bangs, all that. You know, I think this is the place. You know, this and Dead or Alive, I think this is the place for lady ninjas. Let's put it that way. On that note, just like how Tekken, we eventually got to get Kunimitsu out of the way. For Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, like we just had Wolfgang Krauser come out. Very happy with him. People are very happy with Krauser. He's great. But there is that pesky question mark character. The one that's out next month. The one that's out before Kenshiro, and we don't know who that is. So they sort of got to announce that soon, right? And also the fact that they're the question mark and Kenshiro isn't. Kenshiro is a very big deal. So who is this mystery character to get priority over Kenshiro, or Kenshiro just gets put out there, but the mystery character, well, is a mystery, right? So expect the mystery to be revealed at Evo Japan, I suppose. So basically we can expect a lot. Updates on upcoming characters for fighting games, trailers for upcoming new fighting games, new characters, lots of goodies, and of course the Daigo versus Mena exhibition, which I'm sure is going to be absolutely fantastic, and I'll just put it out there. Let's go Daigo! Would you argue Mena is the more realistic pick? Sure, I don't care. It's go Daigo or go home. That's where I'm at. But anyways, my friends, that is the news for now. So Evo Japan again, May 1st through the 3rd. It is not that far away. Going to be a lot of great matches and memories, but also some great marketing and trailers, because that's also what Evo's about. And of course, for all the big hits on the news, stay tuned to the channel. I'll have it all reported here for you. But until then, my friends, that's it for me, and that's it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.